Today on the Topping Show, Chuck Schumer pushes for amnesty for millions of illegal aliens. Nate Silver has a political poll with Trump at 60.1% and Kamala Harris at 39.7%. Time magazine omits Elon Musk from the top 100 influencers of AI. Tim Pool suing Kamala Harris. Apalachee high school shooter's father is being taken to court. Toyota and BMW team up for hydrogen technology. Dollar Tree stock crashed 22% 1 week after the Dollar General stock crashed 32%. And Boars Head meat kills yet another one, unfortunately this one being a Holocaust survivor. All of that and much more on The Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Toyota and BMW teaming up for hydrogen cell vehicles. A concept that's being reevaluated yet again. It's been how many decades? Incidentally, we do have some props to the show today. One of my favorite books I read through the past couple years is Driven, which is actually by David Kelly in his book that's really called Inside BMW, the most admired company in the world. I would say it's false advertisement. I'd say they're one of the most admired, not perhaps the. But this book is written around 20 years ago, give or take. And at the end of the book, they talk about the future of BMW. And at the time, one of the most innovative things they're talking about is hydrogen cars. And again, they'd made successful prototypes back then. It's been a thing for, again, 20 plus years. Toyota even has a couple of the racing cars with the hydrogen cell technology to this day. Now, the big issue, the Achilles heel of the whole idea of adopting hydrogen is the actual manufacturing and the distribution of the actual fuel. It's prohibitively expensive. It's comical. That's why in Nikola Motors, that's why this stock, I was going to say, blew up like a hydrogen bomb. Perhaps poor pun, but everyone thought the Nikola company was so innovative because they claimed to have a secret sauce, a secret process to make that very, very affordable. Turns out it was vaporware, and that was why the company, the founder was ousted. It was all fraud. But looks like Toyota and BMW are going to try to team up. Now, this is actually coming an article by Andrew Hawkins, actually over at The Verge, and hopefully I can actually see some of the cool vehicles there. They say, quote, Toyota and BMW are joining forces to push through the hydrogen fuel cell headwinds. Hydrogen fuel remains a serious challenge, but the two automakers think they can overcome those obstacles together. Which, Toyota is the largest, most successful car company in the world, especially by volume of units sold. And BMW has some innovative folks over there, but let's see. Got a couple of gentlemen there standing in front of their little vehicles. Now, they say, quote, Toyota and BMW are updating their partnership in hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, signing a new memorandum of understanding to accelerate the development of next-generation zero-emission vehicles. BMW will launch its first hydrogen-powered model in 2028. So, a couple of years out. Now, again, great. Where are you going to refuel that? That's where, again, I'm not a fan of EVs. I only drive vehicles that have 3 pedals, also known as a manual transmission. But that's where EVs are getting better in terms of the distribution of all those charging stations, where that hesitation is being decreased or removed from some potential buyers of EVs because there's more and more charging stations. And that took years and a big upfront gambled investment with Tesla. Granted, it's paying off for them. Now they say, quote, hydrogen is the most abundant element of the universe, but automakers have struggled to market fuel cell vehicles to the public. A severe lack of fueling infrastructure outside of California in the U.S. has prevented hydrogen from becoming a popular and prevalent as battery EV cars. They have sales have essentially collapsed. Only 322 fuel cell vehicles were sold in the U.S. in the first half of 2024, 82% lower than a year ago, which actually does sound kind of high in terms of, I don't know anyone who's gotten a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. Yeah, 322 people bought them in the first half of 2024. Heard about car companies struggling, but that is abysmal sales figures. Now they say, quote, Toyota and BMW think they can overcome these challenges together. The upgraded partnership aims to standardize components and bring down the cost of hydrogen fuel cell vehicles by developing their own shared powertrain. that would bring down the cost of that component. Yes, that is very true. But again, how are you going to manufacture the fuel and distribute it cheaply? Maybe we'll be really surprised. Maybe, but no. Let's see here. Now they continue to say that. Let's see here. Oh, apologies, little technical issues here. Never be too upset though when there are issues when it comes to technology, because as I always say, was it for tech issues? Oh, should be working. Apologize for that. Now they say BMW says a series production model will be existing lineup, and they're just going to swap out some powertrain vehicle or components for it. Also, development of heavy-duty vehicles and mobile power generators, and we to further transition from gas-powered vehicles to meet their climate goals. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops, if it's actually going to go to the forefront or how it's going to really pan out in terms of mass adoption. But let's just say I, for one, am a little bit skeptical. But let me know in the comments. Would you ever adopt a fuel cell, a hydrogen vehicle? And what do you think is going to be the main bottleneck of the adoption technology, in addition to the, of course, cost? Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting business news, you have Dollar Tree stock dropped 22% right after the week before, where Dollar General, their stock crashed 32%, as they have been struggling to keep up, or rather find demand for their products, and people are going elsewhere. Now, this comes to us thanks to one of the OG search engines, Yahoo Finance. They say, quote, they actually quote that Dollar Tree stock falls nearly 25% after weakening guidance. There you can see one of their iconic stores there, which, they do have pretty good marketing, though it is, especially for shopping, they're kind of heartbreaking. And I can't imagine costs going up by 25% 2 or 3 years ago. So it's a Dollar Tree is the name of the store, but it's like $1.25, which does add up greatly in the aggregate. And yeah, I know that they try to roll back on certain items, but that's a whole fiasco. Partially because of importation issues with China, but also because inflation is the government stealing from us slowly but surely. Now they say, quote, Dollar Tree reported $7.37 billion in revenue. Expected they were down from the expected $7.49 billion, and adjusted earnings per share of 67 cents per share. They were expecting $1.05 per share, so that's detrimental to their business. They say market dominations, Julie Heinisch and Josh Jipton examined Dollar Tree following stock collapse. As you have tightening consumer environment and people are tightening their purse strings, which, yeah, again, the issue with Dollar General and Dollar Tree is the price per unit. Yeah, it's one of the lowest price points in terms of getting the product, but the price per ounce, the price per actual, when you break it out into how much you're getting, it's really not a great value. So I think a lot of the shoppers who used to go there are probably going to Walmart, which is rough because that's going to be a higher upfront cost. The total cost of the item is more expensive, but the price per ounce or price per pound is much more attractive. But it's hard times that people are moving away from the Dollar Tree. And I'm not sure, again, none of this is financial advice. I'm not sure what's going to happen to those two companies if, they're going to be struggling so much in the future. But let me know, anecdotally, have you seen the Dollar Tree or Dollar General? Have you seen, not as many cars parked out there? Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the culture part of the podcast, you have Tim Pool suing Kamala Harris. And yeah, people are starting to, the amount of conspiracy theories are fascinating. Though, granted, with some of those, we do call them, yesterday's conspiracy theories are today's reality, but in this case, not so much. He's probably one of the most famous podcasters of all time, and a lot of people make fun of him. They call him Milk Toast Tim, because he famously really isn't one-sided politically. He has a lot of left-leaning ideologies, a lot of right-leaning ideologies. A lot of people would call him kind of sitting on the fence post, so to say, or a fence sitter. I forget the actual pejorative term, but pretty good podcast. I tune in, but it's one of those things where not a lot of controversy, historically speaking. Now, this comes to us straight from Tim Pool on the good old X Twitter. He's actually responded from the Kamala Harris HQ. Now, they actually took out this excerpt. It's about a minute long. And again, so Kamala Harris, in response to this clip, the Kamala Harris HQ account on X Twitter, said, quote, Trump operatives say their Project 2025 plan is to give Trump total unchecked legal power so they can just jail and execute those who don't support Trump if he wins. They have since scrubbed this video from YouTube, which, yeah, Trump's never said anything about executions. Although in terms of jailing your political opponents, kind of just think, or I don't have to think, just look at what's been happening for the past year. That's precisely what they've been doing. Perhaps the best example of the pot calling the kettle black, but it's about a minute long. Go ahead and play it here and listen to Tim's specific vernacular as well.
Should Democrats be in jail? No question. When Donald Trump gets elected, should he start locking them up? No question. Should there be lists of Democrats that need to go to jail? 100%. And the reason for that is they've committed crimes. We need to make sure that.
So if you commit a crime, should you go to jail?
When Donald Trump wins, we've got an attorney general, a deputy attorney general, a head of the CIA and the FBI. Kash Patel would be fantastic. We can have attorney general. There's some names floating around. And then they can start having their investigators and the feds issuing subpoenas, pulling up evidence, and with real evidence, bring them to judges for warrants. Then these people can spend three years of their lives fighting tooth and nail for the crime against the government for crimes they committed, and we can prove. Yeah. And the reason why we put them on trial is that we can show the whole world we will uncover what you've done. We will make sure everyone knows, and you will be held accountable for it.
Not just jail, they should get the death penalty. You know, we actually used to have the punishment for treason in this country.
And if you listen to Tim's reaction
should Democrats...
Again, Elon, I'm not sure if you call it a bug or a feature, but when you watch a video, it automatically replays, which I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but I suppose it's an interesting thing that does happen on the X Twitter. And again, from Tim's feedback, they actually cut that feed on YouTube, because on YouTube, you're not, one of the terms and conditions in the fine small print, debatably more convoluted and more confusing than the U.S. tax code. You're saying something. But yeah, you're not supposed to advocate for violence or any taking of life on the YouTube. Unless you're leftist, then they actually will help you feed the algorithm and they'll post your video. I only partially kid in that regard. Now, Tim Pool responded to this saying, quote, I've engaged our legal counsel. We are prepared to take action. More to come. This one pre-file got 10.9 million views as well as 84,000 likes, with a couple of contrarian comments down there as well. One of the first comments comes from AKA, says, get him Tim, getting 1.8 thousand likes. Donald Trump Jr. says, quote, good, it's only a matter of time till the Democrats take their totalitarian methods to the rest of America. Enough is enough, getting 5.4 thousand likes. First contrarian statement comes in from Franklin, saying, quote, freedom of speech, getting 2.8 thousand likes. Some of the most responded to, getting 101 responses, were they ratioed. One of the first persons to respond to Franklin says, quote, the average American says, quote, I'll be like you guys and say, but not free from consequences, getting 201 likes. So not quite ratioed, but most of the comments responding to that Franklin are against the individual. I don't want to say Franklin's weird, but the profile of Franklin is Vote Harris 2024, also crypto, and it's a name is Franklin is bored, or the hashtag or the @ symbol. And it's a picture of an anime girl, which go back to the main comment section. Yeah, Charlie Kirk saying good. The amount this count getting out of control. So much is verifiably inaccurate. There must be some accountability. Getting 1.1 thousand likes. Arthur Eagleman says, quote, get them lying MFers, getting 4.9 thousand likes. Hodgson says, get them, fire emoji, 1.9 thousand likes. Let's see here. One of the most liked comments of all is about Tim's iconic black beanie. It's from Nikita, who also has American flag and a bald eagle emoji in her profile name. America, I approve. She says, quote, what if the court orders you to take off your beanie? That got 18,000 likes, which there's a rumor that there's been one or two pictures of Tim Pool without his beanie throughout the years. I have not been able to confirm that rumor, though. And of all the things to sell in terms of merchandise, I know he has his own coffee like every podcaster out there. I'm surprised he doesn't sell beanies. That just seems like a lost business opportunity. I mean, he's known for wearing a beanie. How on earth does he not sell beanies by the truckload is beyond me. Nevertheless, going back to the main comments, you have Jason, First Tractor Brigade, saying, for posting your own video, what snowflake? Getting 16,000 likes. And one of the biggest contrarian comments, he got 82 responses to him. One of the first ones responding to him is the mad tweeter saying maybe the fact that they are making things up talking about him being an operative and lying about what he actually said, getting 167 likes. See here. What's this? I'm gonna, yeah, a pejorative British term for women and waffles. Very unique name, I'll give him that. It says little Timmy Pool is a cat, plain and simple. He's angry because he has to stand up on his tiptoes to be a real man. Getting 171 likes. See, there's I think that's supposed to be a jab, but I guess it could also be a joke because Tim is short. Denise says they posted the video of what you already posted or of you talking. Are you going to sue? Good luck with that. Getting 9.4 thousand likes. Lord Love says Kamala HQ deserves to be sued into oblivion. The way they lie is criminal. Getting 2.5 thousand likes. Is there any more contrarian statements here? A couple memes. And yeah, if they're misrepresenting him, because again, I mean, certainly don't think he's an operative or he's being sponsored by anyone. But yeah, again, the thing is, these cases will probably take a while. I'm not sure how long it'll take for us to actually, well, most likely they'll just settle out of court. That's more often than not usually what happens when it comes to most of these cases. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting cultural news, you have Time Magazine omitting Elon Musk from the top 100 influencers in AI, which, yeah, I think this kind of just further shows how ridiculous Time Magazine is. I mean, what was it, a couple years ago, they no longer do the man of the year, they do person of the year. And, yeah, not having Elon when one of the largest AI platforms in the world is Grok, which is the one that's on the X Twitter. They omitted him, really? He also helped sponsor the exceedingly famous one, ChatGPT. Now, it's coming straight from the Times' good old X Twitter handle or profile. They say, quote, Times new cover, the most 100 influential people in AI. And you even have, some ridiculous celebrity, like an actress on here too. Like, someone who doesn't own an AI company. They have a guy who reviews AI technologies that may be a little bit, but you have a reviewer of AI versus the founder and creator of one of the largest, most successful AIs. Seems pretty ridiculous to say the least. Now, this referee value got 7.6 million views, as well as 3.3 thousand likes. Now, one of the first comments comes from Greg saying, quote, Elon Musk must have been 101, getting 11,000 likes. Robin says, quote, no hate to, what's this guy's name? He's a really good reviewer. Marcus Brownlee. He does some of the best tech reviews out there. So this Robin says no review to Mark at all. Was he really an influential person, but an AI, but do I miss something? Which he might be educating a lot of people, because I know he does especially a lot of phone reviews, which they have more and more AI built into them. But yeah, that viral got 2.6 thousand likes. Andrew Talbot says, quote, Scarlett Johansson is definitely more influential than Sam Altman when it comes to generative AI, said no one ever. In 2.9 thousand likes, which Sam Altman isn't on there? That's ridiculous. He's the founder of ChatGPT. Really? Wow. Wall Street Bet says Time's most influential cats, and it's a bunch of dogs. They got 609 likes. You have Adrian Dittman saying, quote, so Elon Musk, the man behind Colossus, the world's largest NVIDIA GPU supercomputer, built just 3 months prior to the from start to finish, is not on the list. That's next tier level Blunder IMO, getting 545, making 546 likes. Ian Miles Chong says, quote, I love how your list has some random woman from Nigeria, but not Elon Musk or anyone from XAI. Very DEI oriented, getting 694 likes. Although Elon Musk is perhaps the most famous African American in history, famously born there, and he grew up there as well. Here. Going down more and more. Truth Seeker says GFY, we know the most influential person really is. It looks like it's an old magazine. It says Person of the Year, or Time Person of the Year has Elon on the cover, getting 776 likes. Reddit Live says, quote, Scarlett Johansson and Marcus Brown being included when Elon and Sam Altman were absent is wild. Google importing AI people yields far better lists, LMFAO. And as much as I love Lisa Su, AMD has lagged in AI hardware so much compared to NVIDIA. Yeah, that she don't. Yeah, my 3 cents, I don't think Sue should be on there. Again, she's a genius CEO. She's brought AMD. I mean, that's been one of the best comebacks in tech history. AMD used to be a joke, and they've been killing it in data center market share and sales, as well as getting back into the PCs. I mean, there's a while they were just a joke. NVIDIA, in terms of AI, yeah, they there should be some more NVIDIA resources on this list, I would argue. Scrolling down more and more, they got 1.4 thousand likes. No, I don't think there's a single person praising Time Magazine here. Lex Friedman simply said sigh, getting 2.4 thousand likes. Corbin says, is it satire? I can't really tell, getting 1.4 thousand likes. Someone by the name of LXX says, no Elon, no Sam Altman, no Andre, no Lila. What a joke to cover, getting 2.6 thousand likes. Alex Volkov says, quote, LOL, okay, bro, but the just put up the biggest training cluster in the world in 222 days, but you guys would rather play politics. Yeah, it looks like so. This is two of them is Sarah Garif, who's a co-lead author of the Evescape project, and then Mufasta Suleiman, who's the CEO of Microsoft AI. And that's actually the two people that show up when you do a search. That's kind of funny. Oh no, when you do a search for Elon, it says no results on time for that list. They have 341 likes. Let's see, is there any? Wall Street Bet says, wait, Elon's actually not on the list, getting 169 likes. Yeah, the fact, so apparently they also, Jensen really not on there? Yeah, so apparently Jensen isn't on there, the founder and CEO. Yeah, the founder and CEO of NVIDIA is not on there. And NVIDIA, I mean, they're the most advanced graphics card manufacturer on the planet, and they're leading the way in AI. That's one of the reasons their sales are exploding the past couple of years, especially. And he's not on the list. Jensen, really? Man, this is just ridiculous. So Lee Edwards says, this man, Harry Brighton, is influential in the field of AI in the same way that lead paint is influential in the development of children. Apparently, he is the European commercial for internal market. Yeah, I got 37 likes. So, I mean, Time Magazine has been a joke for, I would say, a couple of years now. This just kind of further solidifies, I mean, no one takes them seriously. Because they obviously didn't choose this based on merit. I mean, love him or hate him, Elon has had one of the biggest impacts when it comes to the development of AI. I mean, bar none. I mean, Grok is getting better and better by the day. I've been playing around with it more and more. And yeah, the fact he's not on there and NVIDIA's founder isn't on there, really? Like the #1 hardware manufacturer for AI technologies. It's used by literally, it's almost incomprehensible how bad this list is from Time Magazine. Although, I guess we shouldn't be surprised as more and more of these magazines have, and publications used to be well known and respected. I mean, they used to be, they used to be pretty on point, but lately just been jokes. But let me know in the comments, do you think Elon shouldn't be on the list? Do you agree with them? Or do you think do you think NVIDIA's founder should be on there? Let me know in the comments, because as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Other interesting cultural news, you have Apalachee High School shooter's father is being taken to court. Now, this has come to us thanks to Colin Rugg on the good old X Twitter. And she says, quote, new, Colin Gray rocks back and forth at the first hearing after his son took, trying to keep this somewhat family friendly, killed 4 innocent people at the Apalachee High School shooting in Georgia. Gray was charged with involuntary manslaughter, second-degree murder, and cruelty to children. The father faces up to a whopping 180 years in prison. His hearing will be on December 4th. Gray is accused of purchasing his 14-year-old son a rifle for Christmas. And there's actually the picture of the son who, spoiler alert, looks like he's trans. Great hair. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit jealous of hair, but in all seriousness, yeah, I think this father is rocking back and forth because he knows his life is over. Actually, I'll ask the Grok. It'll be faster and better than Google. Let's see, do they have the death penalty there? We'll play the video first. Let me scan that over.
Let's see, I need to scratch this out. This document that discusses bond and gives the date of the preliminary hearing, and I guess I could sign that, and then he can just get a copy of it, and then the warrants are attached to that. Let's see, I need to scratch.
So just check the good old Grok, and I asked, does Georgia have the death penalty? Yes, they do. Yes, Georgia does have the death penalty. The state of Georgia uses lethal injection as a methodology of execution. However, like many states, the death penalty in Georgia has seen a serious decrease in execution in recent years due to various factors, including legal challenges, blah, blah, blah. So I suspect that will be an option for the judge, especially in the case of the son who actually did the shooting up school. Now, this went pretty viral. Got 740,000 views and 9.8 thousand likes. One of the first comments coming from Junita Broderick saying, quote, I think we're just hitting the tip of the iceberg of the story here. The rocking back may indicate mental illness or starting to withdraw from drugs, getting 2.6 thousand likes. Alan responds saying, I think he just realized how FD is, getting 2.6 thousand likes, which, and me a little column A, a little column B. There's a lot of rumors about the family right now. I haven't seen any hard reports. There's some people saying that the parents are abusive. Some people saying the parents were inebriated and absent from the child's life, which that's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. I haven't seen any hardcore facts yet on those specific points people are bringing up. Ringo Dog Giddy, interesting name. Perhaps he drums. Huh. It's a Beatles pun, but nevertheless, says, quote, was Crook's father arrested and charged? See here. Colin Rugg says no, but Crooks is also 20. See here. Quote, Gray. I think there's a couple different reports on the age differences, though. Let's see here. Drew Hernandez says, quote, they're moving more swiftly in the case than the Trump assassination attempt. Makes you wonder. Yeah. Getting 5.5 thousand likes, which, yeah, that's interesting how every time there's one of these incidents, yeah, they, just usually the resource allocation of the U.S. government, what they care about. My 3 cents there. It used to be 2 cents, but 40-year hyperinflation, gotta be 3 cents. America Papa Bear says, quote, mistakes were made. You shouldn't let your kids have unlimited access to firearms. This fellow needs to take the blame. Getting 119 likes. And in certain states, I'm not sure about Georgia, but there are certain areas in the United States where, by law, if you have children, you have to have the firearms either they have different methodologies in terms of the specifics. But they do need to be secured, whether that be in some states you actually have to, by law, have to have the gun and the ammunition locked in separate safes. Some they just need a trigger lock. Again, none of this is legal advice, but yeah, I don't think that would, in terms of why this keeps happening. I don't think it's a firearms thing. We've had those for we've had semi-automatic firearms for well over 100 years. The issue I think is the biggest issue, culturally speaking, is the decimation of just the family. Power parenting, and in this case, it looks like it wasn't a broken family, but that's usually more common in these incidents. But usually absent parents are inebriated. Very, very often do we see this happening when it's like a happy kid in a happy home. Now, you also have somebody by the name of Chuck Costello saying, quote, pray for Winder. This is a tragedy. We need to have a conversation about mental health in the country. Getting 361 likes. True. Now, the only downside to that is, do we trust the people in power to define mental health properly? Or do they just say, oh, we think those people are mentally ill, we're going to take away their guns? The FBI classified parents going to PTA meetings voicing their concerns about students, they classified them as terrorists earlier in end of 2023? So that's my concern, is do we trust the government to actually classify people as mentally ill properly and accurately? Which I say, hell no. I don't care who's in charge, left or right in the government. I don't trust them to accurately do that and in good faith. Throughout the years, the government does not deserve the benefit of the doubt, I'm saying. Yeah, Gunther Eagleman says, quote, we need the whole story, getting 606 likes. Let's see here. Paul Zupa says, quote, I don't see how either of the gray men go to jail or do not go to the jail for the rest of their lives, getting 74 likes, which, I'm sure the state's going to probably push for the death penalty for the son. I would think so. He literally took multiple lives away. So you also have Grace saying, quote, I'm going to ask this question again. If the parents have no say in their children mutilating their bodies and transforming from male to female or female to male, why are parents to blame if the child shoes up at school? 1.3 thousand likes. Interesting point. Let's see here. E says, quote, it's been 2 days since the Apalachee High School shooter in Georgia, and we have the shooter in jail and his father in court. It's been 55 days since the assassination attempt on President Trump. What's going on? Yeah, interestingly enough, kind of swept that under the rug, didn't they? And to this day, I don't think anyone's gotten fired from the FBI. Yet the head of the FBI stepped down for her ineptitudes, but they're on leave. So the government is probably a paid leave of absence. Now that did get 371 likes. See, any contrarian statements here? I don't think so. Down South Patriot says, quote, cutting off a child's sex organs equals parents have no say. A child committing a crime equals the parents are at fault, jailed. It doesn't sit well. I need more explanation than this. Getting 616 likes. See here. Old School Eddie says, quote, I'm a gun guy. I've always been. But that being said, this guy knew there was something off about his son and still bought him a firearm. I have no idea what this man was thinking. This kid should not have been anywhere near a firearm. He should be held responsible for the stupidity. Game 959 likes. Which, yeah, talking about a lapse of judgment. If you, well, let's see. Oh, here's someone who says the whole clip, so you can see. Son, here.
All right, good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Colt Gray? Yes, sir. My name's Curry Mingledorf. I'm assigned to preside over this morning's proceedings. Mr. Gray, I do need to inquire as to whether you're able to read and write the English language.
Yes, sir.
All right. I also want to inform you, I want to ask you, do you understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney in these proceedings?
Yes, sir.
And you are, in fact, represented today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Zane Harmon, you're here on behalf of this defendant, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
I want to inform you of the charges that you currently face. In essence, you are charged with 4 counts of felony murder, as outlined in the state warrants that have been issued against you. I want to make you aware that the maximum penalty for felony murder, so for each count, the maximum penalty is that you could be punishable by death, by imprisonment for life, without parole, or by imprisonment for life, with the possibility of parole. If you have any questions about these charges, then I would urge you to discuss those with your attorney. I would invite you, Mr. Harmon, to inform the court as to whether there's a request for bond at this time.
At this time, Your Honor, there is not a request for bond.
This hearing is concluded, and you may escort this defendant out.
Wow. Ounce of remorse in his voice. I got 300 likes. Here. Jackie Chia has a contrarian opinion, so it's especially fascinating. She says, quote, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think the parents should be charged with murder. They didn't commit the murder. He should be charged with something that describes his actual crime. The son should be charged with murder because he's the one who committed it. She continued saying, quote, and the father should be charged with some kind of criminal negligence for buying him the gun after already being warned that he was in danger. Rather. Yeah, the FBI, again, cliche, but yep, the FBI says he was on our radar. I think it was a year ago. They had an interview with him. They had some concerns. So yeah, in terms of charging the father with a murder, that'll be, I mean, at the end of the day, I think the father's, I mean, we're talking about criminal charges here. They're going to be, again, and this is all you have to say alleged, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be proved beyond reasonable doubt in terms of, I mean, especially in, civil court, that's where I think they're going to lose even more than everything. So when those charges come up as well from the families. In terms of the father, historically speaking, again, it's a state-by-state issue, and there's been different cases and precedents set. But, I mean, there have been cases where they charge the parents with the murder as well. I'm not sure what they'll go for in this specific instance. I mean, again, they're saying the father faces up to 180 years in prison. Now, it's got 568 likes. Steve Denny says, quote, this is responding to her comment, says, quote, the boy is under 18. That makes the parents liable as well. That got 25 likes. Now, she says, quote, that's not the case for thousands of crimes committed every day. Plenty of minors commit crimes and their parents are not charged, even though the parents probably do a lot of wrong leading to said crimes. I don't think their father should be charged. I do think this father should be charged with something. I just don't think murder is it. I got 94 likes. Let's see here. Chuck actually responded saying, quote, I'm not sure the parent should be charged at all. It's literally unconstitutional, short of a chain that has him acting as a co-conspirator and placing the weapon in his hand, getting 9 likes. And it'll be interesting. Let's see. And let me know in the comments what your thoughts are in terms of I mean, do you think the father will be? I mean, will he face the basically the same charges? Will he get 180? I mean, will they get the death penalty after the father in this case, or is that a possibility? Again, he's right now he's facing about 180 years in prison. What do you think the conclusion will be of this trial? Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the political part podcast, you have Nate Silver has a poll showing Trump at 60.1% and Kamala Harris at 39.7%. This comes to us thanks to Benny Johnson on the good old X Twitter, which Benny says, quote, new Democrat voting pollster Nate Silver releases new presidential prediction model showing commanding Trump lead. Electoral College odds, Trump at 60.1%, Harris at 39.7%. Trump is up 20.4 points. There's quite a few to say the least. Now here you actually, let me explode that poll, a little infographic right there. Now let's see here. In terms of some of the sample size and the juicy data. Now this is for the Electoral College probability. Now they say, that, interestingly enough, now they say that the popular vote probability, that is 58.5% Harris, 41.5% Trump. Predicted electoral votes, Trump at 277.1, Harris at 260.9. Then you have the predicted popular vote share, 49.9% Harris, 48.9% Trump. Now they say, quote, this is a little more information on the graph. It's, quote, the big picture, who is favored to win the U.S. presidency. Each chance each candidate has of winning the Electoral College or popular vote in 2024 presidential model, and our best predictions of the outcome based on 40,000 simulations of our model. And yeah, see that stark contrast where Trump is dipping down and then just skyrockets up. And Harris got that big bump, and then she's crashing like the stock market. Haha, that's a financial pun, and sucks for the folks because, yeah, stock market's not doing great for a lot of the tech companies, especially. Now, this one pretty valid. Got 2.1 million views as well as 29,000 likes. And one of the first comments coming from the Texas one saying, quote, expect the Democrats to come after everyone who's forced Trump, getting 340 likes. And a friendly reminder to click that subscribe button as I try to articulate things and speak better. When I first started the show, basically no subscribers, and I spoke terribly. Spoke even faster, more monotone than I am now, and mispronounced so many words. My speaking was probably on par with Joe Biden. However, as I slowly but surely get more subscribers, I've become better at speaking. Sure, some might argue it's just modicum improvement. However, an improvement nevertheless. So if you can do me a favor, click that button. That would help me out and improve the show. Going down to other top comments, you have Carlos Turnbull saying, quote, so Benny's plan is just to go through his day pretending that he wasn't just busted for pushing risky information designed to hurt our country for more money. Bold. Getting 1.1 thousand likes. So now he's, oh yeah, they disproved that, let's see here, a day or two ago. Butch responded saying, because everyone with a brain knows not to fall for that scam again. Getting 33 likes. See here. Matt George says they're realizing their smears and attempts to cancel people do not work anymore. Maybe look inward at your own party and their deep ties to the Chinese Communist Party. Every accusation left makes is admission. Getting 13 likes. Yeah, remember Eric Swalwell was sleeping with a Chinese spy, literally? Can't make this crap up. The right girl says, quote, that's amazing. Don't get complacent. Nate Silver is not on our side. Get out the vote. Hashtag early voting. And download the app or just Trump campaign donate directly at promotethevote.com. If we turn out, we can win. Hashtag too big to rig, getting 282 likes. Truth Justice says, quote, the only way Trump, Kennedy, and Elon will not be in the White House is if they steal the election again, imprison Trump in a few days, or finish the hit job they started. Legally and lawfully, it is impossible for Trump to lose. You have a AI generated picture of Trump as well as Elon and RFK Jr. all dressed up in suits, getting 290 likes. Let's see, any contrarian statements here? Oh, a couple more. Diane Callahan says, Russia says what? Getting 363 likes. Costello says, quote, that lead is quite hard, getting 290 likes. Just the Facts has a gif of Putin clapping and says, your daddy is proud of you, getting 415 likes. A couple contrarian statements here. Socialism creates suffering. True. Good, accurate profile name. Says, quote, this is why we're seeing Kamala and the Dems acting more and more desperate every day. Their internal polling must be ugly, getting 133 likes. Let's see. Brian Dawson says, Benny Johnson is a Russian asset right now on Nate Silver's own site. It says Harris at 47.2, Trump at 43.9. I got 876 likes. One of the top comments. DMC says, are you confusing the popular vote with the Electoral College? It looks like you are, getting 50 likes. Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. Malgator says too big to win or to rig. Again, click that subscribe button to help me by speaking ineptitudes. And there's a picture of Trump after his famously attempted assassination attempt, and there's all his supporters around him. And there's We the People in the background getting 48 likes. Pretty much a couple contrarian statements, but pretty much still overwhelming support. Granted, again, there are a lot of polls out there, and I mean, hard to say which ones are the most accurate ones. Granted, the bigger sample size, usually that's a better indicator, but still, at the end of the day, let me know, do you think this is a accurate representation of the current politics in the United States? Do you think it's that big of a delta? Again, there are people who are left and right who will just vote for the party just because it has that letter R or D next to the name. So a lot of votes already baked in, and it's been years since we've seen that much of a delta. I mean, it's been so close to 50-50 when it comes to the elections throughout the past couple of years. I'm pretty skeptical it's going to be a 20-point delta. But leave me in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting political news, you have Elon and Chuck Schumer pushing for citizenship for millions of illegals. I want to say this story sounds familiar because, yeah, it's pretty much what politicians, well, Democrats have done for decades. And it works. I mean, you import them illegally, and they grant them amnesty, and then more often than not, they vote blue. That's why one of the reasons California is so blue. That's why they want sanctuary cities. Well, they also get increased in the House of Representatives because the U.S. is mentally vacuous. They actually count that by the number of people living there, not number of citizens. So there's a reason why they actually want sanctuary cities. They want illegals there because it helps them politically. Ridiculous. Now, this comes directly from Elon's good old profile on the X Twitter, and he's responding to Chuck Schumer. So Chuck Schumer, and this is a video from Mario Will Vote in the Wall. This is about 16 seconds. At least Chuck Schumer did one thing right. He at least suited up. Interesting enough, he has an American flag lapel pin, which that's pretty rare these days in politics, especially on his side of the political aisle.
The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
I mean, this is great because, again, more information the better, more accurate represented. I mean, saying quiet powder allowed, yet another conspiracy theory proved true. Add that to the, I was going to say, we probably saw the U.S. deficit with that jar by now. If you put $1 every time the Alex Jones was right jar, got to be overflowing these days. Now, Elon responded saying, quote, "The incentive is obvious, as it would turn all swing states into deep blue Democrat states, making America a one-party country forever." Now, let's get 21.6 million views. This was 115. Oh, I thought it could be the one extra like to get 116,000. But no, it is 115,000 likes. Elon also responded saying, quote, "That's what happened to California after the amnesty for illegal aliens passed in the 1980s. We got 10,000 likes." Planet of Memes, though they did not use an actual meme, nevertheless, the Planet of Memes says, quote, "Import millions of immigrants, give them all lots of free stuff, amnesty for all, new lifelong Democrat voters, forever blue." Yep, getting 5,000 likes. Elon responded saying exactly, getting 4.2 thousand likes. We have, another contrarian statement. Luke Zaleski, the famous leftist, well, famous to me because I follow him on the X Twitter, famous for, wearing a V-neck t-shirt as a man in public, and also because his profile, the top thing he talks about is how he says young boys should not be allowed to play football. Yeah, so Luke says, quote, "If you surrender your government to Elon, you'll never get it back. Oligarchy isn't something you could change with a vote. You'll be prisoners instead of having government staffed with accountable normal folks working for you. They'll have a billionaire boss as your worker. And you work for." This is especially hilarious when you look at the political moves that have been done on the left and the right. It's one of the most biggest cliches of people who say, "Oh, Trump's he'll never stop. He'll be dictator forever." Then why did he step down peacefully the first time? He told people to peacefully protest. And yeah, he says accountable normal folks. How many accountable people are working in the U.S. government right now? Let me know. How many do you think? You also have X Van Fleet, who's a famous individual who escaped communism in China. And he says, quote, "Words matter. There's no such thing as an undocumented immigrant. When one is illegally entering the country, they are illegal aliens. These politicians who encourage this are criminals." Getting 1.4 thousand likes. Paul Zupa says, quote, "This man is disgusting. Chuck Schumer and all Democrats trying to grant them illegals amnesty need to be tried for treason. Schumer deserves to be in jail for the rest of his life. He's pure evil." Getting 506 likes. He also has no idea about how to be, cook a hamburger. Famously, a couple of months ago, he tried to appear, normal, and he had a raw meat patty on a grill. He's pretending like he was grilling. Which shows you how disconnected these DC elites are from reality. If you don't know how to turn on and use an actual grill, and it's so easy these days. Most like an electronic starter. Now, you also have Gunther Eagleman says, quote, a one-party country quickly turns into tyranny. History has proven this time and time again. In 1.3 thousand likes. He also says, quote, all the Dems have to do is say, quote, the other guys running against me will deport you, so vote for me. That's a quick trip into totalitarianism that would take a war to get out of. Gained 1.5 thousand likes. He also says one way to stop this, vote for Trump, getting 2.1 thousand likes. Let's see here. Frank Furter says, Schumer calls migrants, illegal aliens, and criminals. Please repost. Getting 350 likes. Let's see here. Oh, it's an old quote from Chuck Schumer. SRT 128 said, quote, this is a Chuck Schumer quote. Said, quote, when you oh, this is a terrible quote from Chuck Schumer, grammatically speaking, but he says, quote, we phrases like undocumented workers, we convey a message like to the American people that the government is not serious about combating illegal immigration. What happened, Chuck Schumer? Getting 330 likes. Not too many contrarian statements out there. Trump Army says anyone knows why, quote, Democrat guide to identification, bank ID, airport ID, doctor ID, pharmacy ID, school ID, gun store ID, fishing ID, hunting ID, daycare ID, hospital ID, drinking ID, voting, no ID. Make it 602, let's make it 603 likes. See here. So yeah, now the only question is, I mean, a lot of them are getting registered before the election, apparently. Now, the only question is, do you think it will actually happen before this upcoming election? It's right around the corner. And granted, I think it'll, obviously make a huge difference. 11 million more voters. Yeah, will they get that done in time? Or maybe they'll just, it all takes time is on their side. What this just takes, Trump wins, then, 4 years, and no one gets deported. Well, then 4 years later, you'll have a supermajority. So let me know in the comments, what are the odds that they actually get this done before the current upcoming presidential election? And then what your thoughts are in regard to the future in terms of if Trump wins, will he, logistically speaking, is there any way he can actually possibly deport all of them? Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Boars Head meat taking another life, this time a Holocaust survivor. Now, again, if you have any good rule of thumb is anything with a Boars Head logo in your fridge, just toss it, or the freezer, toss in the trash, or if you're British, toss in the dustbin. Granted, I think this recall is mostly in the United States, but you've had multiple people pass away because of this listeria, and dozens more hospitalized. So again, it's not worth the savings or the risk of possibly contaminated food. Just throw it away. Now, it's because there's thanks to the New York Post, specifically Taylor Hertz, who's right over there. Then, quote, Holocaust survivor died after eating Boar's Head deli meat contaminated with listeria. Lawsuit. Now, there's a picture of the gentleman there. And they say, quote, the family of an 88-year-old Holocaust survivor who reportedly died from eating Boar's Head deli meat contaminated with listeria has filed the first wrongful death lawsuit against the company since the national outbreak. Boar's Head, quote, negligence in distribution of the, quote, defective and unreasonable dangerous, quote, meats without adequate warnings of the product's dangers led to the death of Virginia resident Gunther Morgenstein. His family said in a lawsuit filed in Florida last week. Morgenstein is among 9 people who have died since the Boar's Head listeria outbreak, with over 60 hospitalized, according to the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Over the past year, Boar's Head Jurat, Virginia-based plant has racked up dozens of violations, including reports of mold, mildew, insects, and pools of blood throughout the facility. Boar's Head did not immediately respond for comments. Now, they say, quote, the husband, father, and Holocaust survivor purchased Boar's Head liverwurst and the other Boar's Head products at the Harris Teeter supermarket on June 30th, according to the lawsuit. He ate the products on sandwiches over the next few days. He subsequently became ill, suffering from weakness, fatigue, diarrhea, and fever, family said in the lawsuit. Morgenstein's condition continued to worsen, and he eventually hospitalized on July 8th. His blood culture tested positive for listeria bacteria after he ingested the Boar's Head products, according to the lawsuit. Now, they continue saying, quote, Morgenstein became very ill, developed meningitis, elephantiasis, sepsis, and resulted in contaminated meat. He died after a 10-day stay in the hospital. When asked for comment, the attorney said Gunther was a great man who lived an extraordinary life. He should not have died from eating a sandwich, unquote. Which, that That's heartbreaking. Looks like he was a successful hairdresser for 70 years after. Wow. Now it looks like the recall is up to 7 million products of deli meat. And yeah, in terms of business blunder, can't see how it gets much worse. Hopefully it doesn't. Again, let this be known far and wide to throw that crap out. Don't take the risk. And I gotta say, Boars Head, and again, it's one of those things where when it comes to lawsuits, lawyers don't want Boars Head, the staff, or anyone in the company to say anything, especially in this regard. So of course they're going to do no comment for now, which doesn't make them look good at all. And yeah, at this point, I'm surprised they haven't gone bankrupt already. Again, the lawsuits are coming, so again, that's going to hurt them. In addition to loss of sales, it's going to hurt them fiscally. But it is another loss of life because of your contaminated products and your substandard safety measures in your facilities. I gotta say, Boars Head meat, that is again that is certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.